Radio. Book one on is about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest, consistently delivering high standards without exemption. He's a leading tax attorney with a profound dedication to helping business owners and taxpayers protect their hard earned money. And other than Mr. Pietro Canestrelli.
Thank you, Daniel.
Welcome, Mr. Pietro on Book One Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yes, I am Pietro Canestrelli. I am a tax attorney in Southern California, specifically in this beautiful city of Temecula. And I help taxpayers. I help taxpayers with tax planning. I help taxpayers when the IRS comes after you. And we have helped hundreds and hundreds of clients save millions and millions of dollars over the years. I've been a tax attorney for 26 years now.
And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Mr. Pietro, thank you. And today, let's talk about opportunities for business owners and a new tax bill.
Yes.
So tell us, let's start with the overcharging goal. Beyond more revenue, what is the primary strategic intent of this new tax bill for business, especially small and medium-sized
Yes.
enterprises?
There's all sorts of benefits in the one big beautiful bill tax provisions. And basically, it's a continuation of the 2017 Tax Act, which is very small business friendly. Some of the things that have been extended in the new tax act is, the low rate for income tax rate for C corporations.
Mm-hmm.
Things that have been kind of supercharged that small businesses can take advantage of is the research and development credit. It basically has made that credit worth three times more to small businesses than it was previously. And other things like the extension of opportunity zones and even certain things like you might not think it's helpful for the small business owner, but things like the changing the way tips are taxed is actually beneficial for small business owners because it will be easier burden on keeping account of your employees' um, tips and wages. So there is a lot of great benefits, but unfortunately, taxes are still very complex, and you really need to talk to a tax professional, an attorney who, like myself, who does tax planning to get the most benefits from them.
The most benefit, I like that, Mr. Petro. Many business owners hear the next or a new tax bill and think complexity or higher costs. What is the most significant opportunity or update or upside you identify that should change this narrative?
Yeah, I will go back to the research and development credit. A lot of businesses don't know about this credit, and it's all the big businesses use it, and small and medium-sized businesses should be using it. And like I said before, the change in the tax bill, and I don't want to get too complicated, but the change in the tax bill makes this credit worth so much more than it did prior to the change. We actually have um, an analysis in our firm for small business owners who think they might be able to qualify for the credit. And remember, it's a credit is different than a deduction. A deduction just lowers the amount of taxable income the business generates, while a credit lowers the amount of taxes that the business. So credits are always better than deductions.
Interesting, Mr. Petro. If you could summarize the bill impact on a business owner's bottom line in one sentence, what would it be?
The bottom line is this: there are enormous opportunities for small businesses in the new tax bill.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the cough.
No worries.
Enormous opportunities for small businesses in the tax bill. You have to go to your tax professional and have them analyze your specific business, where you are, where you're going, in order to take the most advantage of that. And I encourage all business owners to do this. Saving taxes is basically, for every dollar of taxes you save, is basically another dollar of profit for you. So it's very, very important that you jump on this. You get with a good tax professional that is going to guide you and explain for your particular situation the tax planning opportunities from the OBBB.
Tax planning. I
Yep.
like that. Mr. Petro. And capital investment and growth. Let's talk about stimulating growth. Are there new or expand provisions for immediate expensing or bonus depreciation that make this an ideal time for business to invest in equipment, technology, or vehicle upgrades?
That is completely true. There are a lot of opportunities for complete expenses, and just so everybody understands, the usual rules if you buy equipment, if you're buying something that has a long-term use, whether it's equipment or vehicles or real property or a building, is that you have to depreciate it over a certain number of years. So with the OBBB, um, they have extended the provisions that allow you to, instead of buying an equipment and depreciate that, meaning take a deduction over 3 or 5 years, they're allowing you under Code Section 179 to expense that all in 1 year. And that is, that's basically worth, um, because you're allowed to take the deduction earlier than later, you're allowed to save money today versus save it over 3 years. So, very important to take advantage of this. Now, you have to make sure you're buying the right type of equipment, right type of vehicles. You want to touch base with a tax professional, making sure that you're doing everything correctly. You want to make sure that you're talking to your tax preparer, tax return preparer, letting them know what's going on so they could properly report your returns, and in order to take the deductions, the full expense. Now, because it is an election, meaning you can either depreciate it over time or you could take it all in 1 year. It's up to you. Obviously, it's 99 times. It's usually much better to take it earlier than spread it out over years.
How does the bill handle by research and development costs? Is there a favorable shift for business investing in innovation? And if
Yeah.
so, who is stand to benefit the most?
So the the people that benefit, or the people who can take a research and development credit, is people who are doing research and development. And that is a term of art within the code and the regulations. And basically, you have to be testing um, testing things to
Mm-hmm.
develop to make it research and development. You have research is by A/B testing, ABC testing of different materials, different type of different type of software, different type of systems. Um, you know, the one example would be manufacturing. All right, and you're trying to develop a way to manufacture something quicker and more efficiently. All the time employees spend on doing that, all the material you're using during these experiments to develop a way to manufacture, all the software you're purchasing and part of the equipment you're purchasing, all the third parties you're bringing in to kind of teach you how to do things um, more efficiently and do the testing. All of those type of expenses are called qualified research expenses. Now, your 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 credit is based upon those expenses. So manufacturers probably have a lot of R&D credit that they could take advantage of. Medical businesses like dentists and other medical that are doing experiments as far as um, doing the medical practice, that sort of thing, is is also allowed research and development credits. And then like um, service uh, businesses like attorneys and CPAs and insurance, if they're spending money and doing research on how to e- essentially develop their their product for clients better, deliver their services better, and they're investing in software and other things to make that better, they may also qualify for research and development credit. Now, the key to the research and development credit, like so many other things in the tax code, is substantiation. You have to document how you have been researching and what expenses you have in that research. And that's where tax attorneys and other tax advisors come in to show you exactly how to do that and document it. So, in case the IRS ever audits you, you have all the documentation and the substantiation you need to show that you properly took that credit. Again, it's a lot of things in the tax world. It's not a do it yourself type proposition. You really need help in order to implement these type of credits.
Mr. Petro, entity structures and pass thoughts or pass through, I should say, the
Mhm.
qualified business income
Mhm.
deduction was a landmark of the last major bill. Has this new legislation made any changes that affect pass through entities?
Really, in general, it's just extended. Extended it from the 2017 Act. It's extended it, and it's trying to make it permanent. So it's you still need an analysis because you have this credit on pass through, but on the other hand, you have a very low C corporation rate. And just as a brief explanation, C corporations are a type of corporation where both the corporation and the shareholders are taxed. It's a two-tier tax regime.
Mm.
Pass-through entities, like you mentioned, Daniel, are S corporations and partnerships and also sole proprietorships that only have one level of tax. meaning you could have a limited liability company that is has one member that is taxed as a sole proprietorship, even though it's its own entity. But C corporations are taxed at the corporate level and the shareholder level. So again, the key with all these changes is to have someone look at your particular situation, all right, whether you currently have an S corporation or a C corporation or no corporation whatsoever, and see by changing whether you're going to save taxes or not. And we do that analysis, and we will let you know that, hey, this particular way is the way to go under the OBBB, or maybe we'll say what you have, your current structure is the best way, and that doesn't make any sense to change it.
Mr. Pietro, as a tax attorney, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
My long term goals really is to help as many taxpayers as possible. We help taxpayers fight the IRS at the audit level and the collection level, and in tax court and at IRS appeals. We also do tax planning. I particularly like helping business owners save taxes. I think small business owners are the heroes of the economy. Small business owners really are the people that, if you think about it, a small business owner brings uh, happiness to people. Whether it's a restaurant owner or a contractor, they are making people's lives better. Right? They are doing a job. They are getting paid for it, of course, but they are making their lives better. And every time I could save a business owner, um, tens of thousands of dollars through tax planning, I am very happy because I think those people deserve to pay only what they are legally required to pay in taxes. Yeah, I understand everybody wants to, everybody has to pay taxes, but you should only be paying what you're legally required to. And yes, it does take special expertise to get you there, but we could stand by you and we could help you out there. So, long-term goals: help thousands and thousands of clients a year. Avoid the taxes, overpaying in taxes.
Hmm. And good luck to your goals, Mr. Pietro, and looking forward for more success. And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
To succeed in business, I think there are two things you need. One is courage. It is very scary to leave a job and open up your own business. You don't know if you're going to get paid. And a lot of business owners often don't get paid. Um, so you need courage to know that what you're bringing to people is 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 a good thing. It's going to make their life better. The other thing you need, and maybe this is the tax attorney in me, you need to have math. You need to understand how business works, and a lot of it comes down to math. You can't sell a product for less than what it costs to create. Just like you can't provide services for less than what it costs for you to create those services. So you have to learn the math of business. You have to understand profit and loss statement, cash flow, all those type of things, which, you know, as an attorney, even as a tax attorney, I only had a vague notion of that before I opened up my own firm 10 years ago.
Hmm.
And that is really the key to growth and success, is have the courage, believe in what you're doing, Um, and then have the math and don't be afraid to look at the numbers and make decisions based upon the numbers in front of you, not the numbers you wish it was. So if you do that, you're going to succeed. And like I said, you're going to bring a lot of happiness to people.
Well, thank you for that advice, Mr. Pietro. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Yes, my book that I think every business owner should read is, and it's a pretty famous book. It's Start with Why by Simon Sinek. And it really gets to the heart of what you're doing, what you're trying to do. It's not what you do, it's not how you do it. It's why you do that. Why do you get up every morning as a business owner and open the door to the office or open to the door to the store and provide those goods and service to those clients? Why are you doing this? And until you
Mm.
figure that out, you can't really reach your full potential of as a business owner. So read that. It will change your life as a business owner and also as a person. If you, even if you're not a business owner, start with why. Will start you asking the right questions about your life itself.
Mm. Thank you for the recommended book, Mr. Pietro. On the flip side, what is the most common pitfall or overlooked compliance requirements you see in this new bill that could accidentally create liability for well-meaning business owner?
Yeah, the number one pitfall is um, not not having bookkeeping. If you're a business owner, especially a new business owner, you don't realize the importance of keeping track of all of your income and keeping track of your expenses and properly categorizing it. I've seen this probably hundreds of times where somebody opens up a business, they don't have a lot of experience, they don't have proper bookkeeping, and the IRS just comes in and does an audit, and they basically have no evidence to show that they spent money, and it's a giant scramble. So make sure from the get go that your bookkeeping is correct. That is the most helpful thing. Um, the other thing is make sure that you have a good tax preparer. And these two things go hand in hand. A good tax preparer can't do your tax return without good bookkeeping, um, but a bad a bad tax preparer may try to do a tax return without bookkeeping, and they're just going to get you in enormous amount of trouble. And so, good bookkeeping, good tax preparer, especially early on, is going to protect you a great deal. The other thing is to keep informed about your tax obligation. Understand that there is a there is a difference between business expense and personal expense. So keeping the business separate from your personal, and again, good bookkeeping will do this, is really super important for keeping you out of trouble with the IRS, because too many people think I'm a business owner now, so everything I do is a deductible expense. That is not true. Now, talk to tax professionals for guidance on that, but don't assume that everything you do is an expense. That's a huge mistake.
A huge mistake.
Yeah.
And Mr. Petro, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my Abstract Essay is already in fifth season, Abstract Poetry in second season, and my Book 101 Review in fifth season too, Comedy 101 in third season, and my Food 101 in fifth season as well, Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101 Review, Music 101 are in fourth season, Science 101, Sex 101, second season of My Baby Podcast, Law 101, Mental Health 101, and Bible Verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Petro, finally beyond the numbers, how can leveraging these new rules effectively become a competitive advantage, allowing a business to out invest, out innovate, and out hire its competitors?
Right, exactly. The OBB and with proper tax planning, you're going to have more profit that you can invest back in your business. You're also going to have opportunities to spend money on research, AI, that sort of thing. That the tax rules, the OBB in particular, allow you a credit on. So the ones that are taking advantage, the businesses that are taking advantages of these tax provisions of the OBB are going to have an enormous, and I'm talking about tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax savings over the businesses that are just not taking advantage of these. So it makes a huge difference. We save some clients hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes legally by the provisions of the OBB that they had no clue about and their tax preparer had no clue about. So take advantage of this. Reach out to tax professionals. You're only required to pay the taxes you're legally required to do. You don't really want to pay additional taxes.
Yes, indeed. And Mr. Pietro Canestrelli, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world.
Thank you.
So, can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your advocacy, or any projects that you're doing right now?
Yes, I my book is on Amazon. It
Mm-hmm.
is called America's Tax Defender: Stories of Taxpayers Who Fought the IRS and Won. You could do a search for America's Tax Defender in Google Books, or you could do a search for my name, and you will find it. And I encourage everyone to buy that. It really, I hope taxpayers and business owners buy it because it really shows that the IRS can be fought and you can win against them.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Pietro Canestrelli because if you support him for sure, more and more empowering books to come, more and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Mr. Pietro, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. This was a great experience.
Modicon people, see you soon.